Oh boy. I have to be a little more quiet today because it's 2 o'clock in the morning and everyone's asleep. I have to make sure I don't wake anybody up. So getting back to the story, Chloe was taking Max to a secret hideout. The two arrive at the junkyard, which Chloe calls her home away from home. Max seems to have recovered completely, but she's in a very new setting. Chloe is a lot more comfortable in this place. She even starts drinking. Also, she takes out a gun she stole from David. Apparently she's had it for a while. Max is very uncomfortable when she sees the gun. Chloe requests Max to get the other bottles so they can lay them out for a shooting range. Also, she still doesn't know that Max met David. Also, David has a bunch of files, according to her. As Max walks over to put the other bottles on the range, she kinda realizes that Chloe has a big drinking problem. She's very upset that she didn't say anything. Maybe she could have prevented this. When she's done, Chloe puts her bottle in with the rest and it's go time. When Chloe shoots the gun, Max struggles to stay upright and faints. Everything goes black and she starts hearing gunshots. When she recovers, Chloe is tending to her and it looks like the alcohol is kicking in slowly. Max doesn't want to shoot because of that day, but Chloe still hands over the gun to her. Just as she's about to shoot, a sketchy looking booty, Frank, comes in and wants the money Chloe owes him. Max is hiding the gun behind her back, and when Frank notices, Chloe notices Rachel's bracelet on him. Now Chloe loses it. She becomes very aggressive, outright violent eventually. Even Frank is taken by surprise, so much so that he accidentally cuts her while trying to defend himself. Because of this, Max is aiming the gun at him, while he is claiming that he was just in self-defense. Here, Max has a choice. She pulls the trigger, but thankfully the gun is empty. Frank is furious. He storms towards Max, but Chloe gets in the middle of the two of them. It seems like all hell will break loose, until another stranger comes in and stops them. Whoever he is, it seems like Frank does not want to mess with him. He says one final thing to the girls and then heads off. Chloe, meanwhile, wants to go home, but Max instead decides to get some help from the dude. He helps treat Chloe's wound and reveals himself to be Chase McCain. Yes, that Chase McCain. Yeah, that Chase McCain. You remember from Lego City Undercover? Yep, that is the same Chase McCain in this story. There are reasons why this happened, but I'm not gonna go over that right now. Just know that he is in the story. I might just expose myself here, but I am a simp for Chase McCain. Alright? He's gorgeous, he's talented, he's gorgeous, especially the way he is in this story. He reveals that he is a friend of Ryan, Max's father. Here, he fills us in on some information. Remember the bad moments Max was talking about? Well, turns out she was involved in a school shooting. Chase was there and helped out some victims, like Natalia, for example, a cheerleader Max remembers. Max was being helped by her mom, Vanessa, during this time, while Ryan was out helping everybody out, including Chase. She notes that it's very much like her father to be the quiet type but ready to help out. Chase says he won't tell anybody about this. Chloe misunderstands the assignment. Oh, I forgot to mention, the alcohol kicked in a while ago and she's almost klar. She can't even keep her head up, that's how far she's gone. After having a good laugh, Chase decides to start up the car and take the girls home. I think there's a good montage opportunity here when Chase is driving them home. Maybe some music on the radio while showing shots of Arcadia Bay. Anyways, on with the story. First, he drops off Max and also teaches her the rules of gun safety. Max would rather not have them for now. Maybe one day. She takes a photo of Chloe before leaving. That's more her type. Oh yeah, and Chloe is basically just asleep. Like, completely. The handsome Chase McCain leaves to drop off Chloe. I love this man. Maybe I should switch on this light. Okay, just a moment. Is this better? I feel like this is better. While Max is heading to her room, she notices people are making out in the bathroom. She assumes it's Logan and Juliet, so when she sees, she offers to keep God if he wants to do more. Now, I promise you, this is based on a true story. So let me explain. Back in high school, I had this friend he was from Hyderabad. He was a very sweet guy, very sweet, very innocent. And I remember once, while we were chilling in the F passage, that's where we usually used to hang out, there were two people who came in. They went into one of the classrooms. I'll put a drawing of the setup here. They went into the classroom that was further down the hallway, and this guy, he goes there and he looks at me like, bro, they're making out in there. And I'm like, okay, just let them, just don't interfere. And then he just looks again, and he looks back at me like, oh. He was so innocent. I don't know how to describe it. When they were done, the guy came out, and he was so innocent. He just looked to them. He just looked to them, and he was like, "You guys were making out in there, right?" Like, yeah, we were making out in there. And then he's like, I don't know why he said this, but he just looked at them and he just said, while you were there, I was outside. I was outside keeping guard. Actually, I was here. And then he just, out of the blue, just offered them, if you want, you can go back inside, you can do more, or I'll stay here. I'll make sure no one comes. I'll make sure no one disturbs you. Go back, you do more. I was further down the hallway. I was losing it. I couldn't control my laughter. I think my legs felt weak after that. I genuinely couldn't believe that it was an actual thing that an actual person just said. And I'll be honest, the only reason I remember that day is because I wrote it down in my journal. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have remembered it. Yeah, sis, but it was a once in a lifetime thing. I swear. I've never seen anything like that. Then Logan hits her with the "Don't tell Juliet" line. Max didn't see who it was, but turns out she knew that it was Victoria. She decides to talk to Dana before heading back to her room. When they begin talking, Dana tells her about a Blackwell legend by the name Mrs. Naidu. Apparently she haunts the school at night. Even though they don't believe it, they still get scared whenever it's nighttime. I'm sure a lot of us can relate to that experience. It also makes sense considering it's Halloween time. Max notes that Dana is really into that stuff. Before she can show off an outfit, Warren arrives and Max is forced to hide under the bed. Again. She realizes that Dana and Warren are an item. This, coupled with the test she saw earlier, she thinks,
damn, Warren, you nasty!
And things get even stranger because Tiger's here. Him and Dana just bully Warren for a bit. The boys then send Dana away so they can talk in private. This is when we get to find out Tiger isn't just Scallum, he's Poos. Yeah, I don't like this guy. If when you write a self-insert, everyone thinks that you're gonna make him the good guy. But For some reason, I just wanted to write someone that I would hate. He's not a good guy. He's not a good guy. Warren has just had enough and basically calls him out on his cuck. Warren calls him out because he knows that Tiger needs Max alive for his mission, so he's not gonna let anything happen to her. Yeah, Warren is the good guy here. Needless to say, Max is terrified. Even more than everything she had to be afraid of before, she now has this to worry about. Eventually, Dana comes back to the room with food, whatever that is. Tiger once again goes back to normal and leaves with some of the food. Dana is now alone with Warren, but he's not feeling very good. Still, he promises that they can have the next day after school together. Also, Juliet, the friend that she had, has recently become a bit of a journalist. Warren tells them to be careful, they don't want to tick off the wrong people. He then leaves after a kiss. Dana lifts up the blanket so Max can come out herself this time. When she notices that Max is just not feeling right, she decides to teach her a dance move. It's a curse that her room has. If I had a nickel for every time there was a scene involving Max being made to dance and hide under her bed in whatever order, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. Max gets into it eventually, and that leads us to a montage to end off day 1 in this story. The montage goes as follows. Warren is in bed but struggling to sleep. Tiger is in not a dorm room, but a room, and he's staring at a drawer for some reason. Kate is at a desk, but she has her head in her arms. Also, the room is quite dark. Frank heads to an RV, which is probably his because he's greeted by a dog. To end things off, the beautiful Chase McCain has dropped off Chloe, safe and sound, and fully klar, as is this video now. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I can do an outro properly. Okay, that brings us to the end of this video. It should have been complete like a week ago. Things kept coming up and coming up and coming up. You wouldn't believe what's been going on the past week. But as far as the story is concerned, we are done with day 1. Just 3 more days to go. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll be back for the next one. But before then, my next video will be a Q&A. That's something that I was supposed to do a while ago. I hope to see you all then.